non-denominational.
Can you get the mic closer?
Non-denominational. That's it.
Uh-oh, I feel a pee coming on.
Hey everybody, welcome to Ask an Enemy Interviews, and this is actually episode 4. Last week I said that was episode 4, that was episode 3.
A New Hope?
Yeah, hopefully, man. We'll see, man. I am here joined by... Introduce yourself, my man.
They call me Farouk. Where am I supposed to look?
You can look at the camera, you can look at me. Doesn't matter.
Oh.
I'm Farouk.
Yeah, you can look at me in the camera, don't matter.
Cool.
Whatever you feel comfortable with, man. And I also have...
Adam.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
The strong arm.
Yeah.
And
I'm
these...
Azar, he's long car.
And these are the guys of Bitch Face, a local El Paso band that I wanted to get you guys familiar with because they have their CD release party scheduled for
16th of August at the Lowbrow Palace.
Nice.
And there's also one more of us, but it's his like 1 year anniversary, so he needs to put in some FaceTime.
1 year anniversary with his lady?
With his lady.
Oh shit, dude. You reminded me of this picture I sent Kel of someone who posted a picture on Twitter of his face all fucking gross and white. And he's like, I just ate out with my chick. What are you guys up to? And it was like, fucking disgusting, dude.
Wow, I'm up to skipping this tweet.
People do that nowadays, man. They forget the kind of shit that you can post online, you know? But anyways, so these are the guys from Bitch Face. I wanted to talk to you guys, man, about like, you know, the typical bullshit of, you know, how long you guys have been together and stuff like that. But what I wanted to start with was, first of all, today we got the news that a friend of ours, you guys probably know him a lot better than I do, Eric Salas, local musician, I mean, amazing, just overall super, probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when someone like that passes, you always feel like just fucking horrific about it, but this guy was just so always positive, you know? Whenever I met him, he just always was a really cool guy, man. So to see someone like that pass is just, it just sucks.
He was like a child, bro. Eric was just a fun dude, and no, everywhere he went, it just was fun. Like I never saw him sad or anything like that.
Right. Well, and I mean, he's been in the El Paso scene for like so fucking long, dude. I mean, I think even when we were in high school, dude, he was in bands like Universal Recovered.
He actually was in a band with Jacob's uncles when we
What?
were. Yeah. There's a picture of Eric in these little 80s shorts, cut-off
No
shorts.
way!
He has a mullet.
With Jacob's two uncles, yeah.
Was it Break It Hot, dude? What band is that? Do you know?
It was before his uncles moved to LA and did Riser, so I can't remember the name of the band, but it was like late 80s.
Riser. That's right. I remember that. When I first met Jacob, he showed me like they had CDs and everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They actually opened up for Tool and.
Wow, I forgot about
and
that,
Eric
dude.
was in a band with them, and Jacob has this old photo of Eric in these like cute little shorts with a mullet. He's got a mullet in the photo, and he's smiling really big.
Wow, man.
Yeah. So he's been around forever, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, even, like I said, I mean, the band I'm familiar with is Universal Recovered. Like, what other bands did he play with, if you know, from, like, when we were in high school? I mean...
He was in Attacks, Start on the Ready.
Start on the Ready.
What's that one with Thieves of Always?
Right?
Yep.
He would just jam with other bands,
Who played drums for Belknap?
No, that was somebody else.
That was Matt Schmidt, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was somebody else.
Yeah.
But he was just a one-of-a-kind dude. I remember one time he came and stayed at my house. The Thieves were touring, and I was living in Austin. And he shows up with his pajamas and stuff. It was pretty awesome. And then he cooked us breakfast, so that was also awesome.
I read that because they posted, you know, I think it was Gabe that posted a link about, you know, the news or whatever. And they posted something about how he used to cook food. I mean, I was never able to really experience that, man. But was it really that badass? Like, he would just go all out and cook and shit? Or
Dude, one time the Thieves were practicing.
Thieves.
Both of them, Ralph and Eric, both cooked. And they would, like, stop. In between songs, they'd stop and, like, run to the kitchen. And, like, they were making brownies and wings and stuff. So after the practice was over, like, we were eating and stuff. It was pretty fun.
No shit.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
That's old school style right there, dude.
Yeah, man. It was He's a great guy, man.
Well, and see the thing, that's why I tell you. Like I've known him through other people, and I mean I've hung out with him and everything. And he had a friend whose name was Mike. I think he lived over by where we used to live, Adam. And he had he was at that time. I think Eric was looking for like a band or something. And, you know, we were going to jam for a bit. And that's when I got to sit down and, like, talk to him. And he's just super cool guy, man. And I respect him as a drummer because as a drummer, he was fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, he's
like,
incredible.
He was just solid.
He was a big inspiration for me. And the Thieves of Always, him and Ralph and Brian, they played with Antigone quite a bit. You know, the last few years, Antigone hasn't been playing a lot. But... when we did, we always went to the Thieves of Always first because they were like one of the few bands that was still heavy,
right?
And like we got each other, you know,
right.
Like those dudes were one of the few groups of musicians that I felt we identified with, and Eric was always super cool to me, and I looked up to him, and I don't know if he ever knew that.
I'm sure he did,
but you know, I was always. Not starstruck, but I was like, you know, like he was in my favorite bands when I was a teenager, and then when I'd get to play with those guys, like I looked at him as, you know, someone to teach me something.
Right.
We got to, when I used to be in a band called Flexion, we'd play with Universal Recovered quite a bit. Also, and I remember the first time I saw that band, I was like 15, and we were at the Headquarter Records, and they were opening for 90 Day Men, and at the drive-in.
Holy shit.
It was 2 nights in a row. And like that was my first introduction to that whole like indie rock type thing. Like
yeah.
I didn't know people did this kind of shit. You know?
what was it Flexion like that though?
Yeah, Flexion was, but we were like high school kids, bro. We were playing like, you know, talent shows or, you know, battle of the bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At churches, and like when we started getting to play other shows like at Wasted Generation or at La Tuya or Headquarters or those other places that we started playing at. It was with those guys. It was because those guys let us play.
Yeah.
And
I remember actually, you were the one to kind of get me into that, you know, scene in El Paso that was really flourishing at that time, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. And you were the one that you were taking me to all these shows. And that was the first time I met Ralph.
Yeah.
Because, like... I think he was like trying to buy a guitar from you or something, and we were at E9, and I met those dudes around the same time when I was like 18 or so, because you were just starting to go to all these shows, and you were kind of taking me.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, dude. Is that I mean, you know, just like he is, like he's in all these different bands. We've been in all these different bands, you know, but like we all. What I want to get to is how they created the El Paso Artists Guild. And it was basically in honor of this guy, you know, because they were, like Gabe was telling me that they basically wanted to come up with some kind of, you know, like a fund so that...
Like a safety net kind of thing.
Yeah, because most musicians, they don't have like a steady day job or like insurance and stuff like that, you know? And stuff like this. Personally, I don't know exactly what he was diagnosed with or what, you know, happened specifically, but those types of bills, man, they fucking add up, you know?
Yeah.
And they do have a, and I usually don't push this stuff, but again, just because it's Eric and it's specifically to help out his family with the
go buy the CDs.
Yeah,
right?
buy CDs. Go to the El Paso Artists Guild. I think it's Facebook.
Yeah, they have a donate page for Eric right now.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It's actually facebook.com/E Artist Guild, EPA Artist Guild, I guess basically. And you can go there. You can find all the information. You can ask questions if you want. You know,
if you already have some of these CDs, buy them and give them to somebody else, because the music that's on those CDs is like a real good
fantastic.
It's a documentation of like a good 10 years of stuff that happened in El Paso.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's like $30 for the whole
$30
package,
for 4
right?
CDs. I'm pretty sure it's still the same price, but it's worth it. And if you already have them, give them to somebody else. Like I gave mine to my little brother that listens to rock music, and he loves that.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric was a huge inspiration on him, and he barely knew him.
Right.
You know, and
just from the music alone, like.
I wanted to say this too, because the fact that the El Paso Artists Guild is happening shows you something that I always thought was particular to El Paso, which is, you know, the short time I lived, a little less than a year in Nashville, well, just outside of Nashville, I realized I missed something about El Paso that I didn't know we had, which was a kind of community amongst the musicians that was really, I mean, it was a camaraderie, you know?
Yeah.
And we kind of take that for granted and think that it's like that in other cities.
Oh, man,
and it's totally not. People are cutthroat. That, you know, they'll fuck you over at shows for time slots or for drink tickets or whatever it is. And everybody is, you know, here there might be friendly competition to kind of push each other to do more, but everybody's friendly and everybody's trying to help each other out.
Right.
And that's something that really is unique. And it was guys like Eric and Greg and Ralph and Brian and, you know, the guys from At the Drive-In and, you know, Micah's old band Airplanes Are Better, which you were in.
Zex
and it was Zex Marquis and all those guys that kept it, like, I don't know if anyone consciously was trying to do it. Maybe it's just the El Paso culture, but everybody was helpful in a lot of ways and friendly.
Well, I think what happens is that competition is, it's like you're saying, it is a friendly competition, but it's like everyone tries to push everyone else to just do something, you know?
Yeah, but no one's trying to fuck each other over.
Yeah. I mean, and exactly one of the biggest reasons why I started this particular podcast is to do that, you know, to get people familiar with the bands that are here in town, you know, the musicians that are around and stuff. Unfortunately, obviously, Eric was never really able to be part of this, but that's something that I always want to get to the point of why bands do what they do here in town, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and that's why, you know, I mean, it just sucks to see someone like that go, dude, but it makes bands like us, you know, just do something.
Well, he inspired all of us, man.
No, he inspired the whole town in terms of the musicians, for sure.
Inspiration means like breathe by like God's breath inside you, and that's what Eric did with his drums. You know, like he brought the breath of God into your body, whether or not you believe in God, the Spirit.
No, absolutely.
He brought that feeling into you. You hear the beginning of the drums on the latest Cityscapes album. You just hear the drums kick in. You're like, oh shit, that's fucking Eric.
And you know what? I bet you anything that if Eric were an asshole, that people would not feel that.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that he was such a kind, happy, funny person to be around that, you know, it just made it that much more powerful.
Right.
I think we should give him a moment.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and just give him a moment in silence real quick. Gonna be missed, man.
You know, all day I've been thinking about him, but I really, the memory that I keep going back to was we played with them not that long ago. I think it was in March.
November 17th.
It was November. And we played with Attacks
We
at the
planned
Black
something
Market.
ahead of time, yeah.
And it was, what made it such a special moment was Greg and Farouk started talking about covering Big Bottom by Spinal Tap at the show, and we weren't sure if it was going to happen, but we kind of like left everybody responsible for learning the song. And like Bitchface played, and then Attacks played, and then as their last song we left our amps up there, and then we went on stage and we all played Big Bottom, which is, you know, the song like with all basses. And Mikey brought a floor tom up there, and Eric was playing it on his kit, and like it was like, you know, 6 people all playing that bass riff, and it was so much fun. Like the crowd loved it, and you know, Eric looked great that night and looked so full of life and so happy, and that's my last memory of him, and I'm really thankful that that's how I'm gonna remember him. You know,
that was the last time I saw him.
That was the last time I saw him.
Yeah, and see, Barry stopped by to drop off some flyers for you, Farouk, and I actually talked to him about that too, and I think the last time I saw Eric was at the Jellisound concert, and I think that might have been November of that year also.
Yeah, it was around that time.
Yeah.
And then just, I don't want to talk too much about the negative or just kind of like that stuff, but he's just a super cool fucking guy, man. And I just, in honor of him, let's talk about bands, man, because that's what that guy would want to do.
Absolutely.
He's a musician, and if he was here, he'd be talking about the bands that inspire him and stuff too, So, as I mentioned, these guys are in Bitchface, and I want to talk to you guys about, how long have you guys been together as Bitchface? Because we were talking about how we've all just been in bands, so.
It's been almost exactly a year, at least since the name Bitchface was decided on, because I think it was June of last year when I played my first show with the band. I was kind of just jamming some songs I had written at home by myself with Mikey, because he lives up the street from me. And we were just playing for fun. I didn't actually think I could front a band. I'd not done that since I was 15. I was playing drums for Antigone forever.
Right. But you kind of fronted the band because you played backwards.
Oh, yeah.
You were in front.
I actually did play literally in front of the band for a while. But but I didn't actually feel like I had the confidence to play out in public. But the songs were coming together okay, and I thought well, why not? Let's try to add a bass guitar. So I think it was June when Jeremy, who was our old bass player in Antigone, and he was available, and so we played a few shows, and the response was pretty good, and so I was like, oh, maybe I'd like to continue doing this. But when we started, I had all these different band name ideas, and I didn't think that the band was going to last long. My initial plan was to just start a band for the summer. And I was like, I'm going to just play a couple shows and have a ridiculous name and then just disappear and do another project. That was actually the plan. In fact, I had emailed a bunch of people like Chris Bailey and Keith and all these people, and hey, let's just throw a band together for fun and just play a couple shows and disappear. And the bitch face was something I used to say about, snobby look on girls' faces in high school. And I was like, oh, we'll just do that. And then it's a stupid name. But, I kept going. And eventually...
See, I think that's the cool part, man, is that's usually what makes bands and makes them last, is that they did it because it was just something they wanted to do that was fun to do.
Yeah.
And I mean that honestly, I think that's why it stuck around for you, man. And it's probably a really good release, especially from your day job kind of thing, where it's I would imagine it's just complete contrast between day and night.
The other thing too is that it's so very different than what I've been doing in Antigone, because as you know, I play drums in Antigone, and it's progressive rock. And it's difficult, It takes
fractions and shit.
It's a math rock,
there's an incredible amount of enjoyment that I get from doing that. You're a drummer too, and a guitar player, so that the challenge of playing something difficult on drums.
But you actually do
kind of enjoyment,
almost mathematically, man.
I do, and I've been accused. I say accused because it wasn't a positive comment. I'm not going to say who it came from, but. Of being like a robot, when I play, and I took it.
That was probably me.
No, it wasn't you. It was
it was
somebody else. I'll say it was Faro because it's easier. But
you take the heat.
I took it as a compliment because that's not to say that I'm not emotionally involved. But I have to use my brain a lot, and because all of us grew up on Nirvana, I always wanted as a separate thing to. Play guitar and write simple short songs and not have to think so much. So it's a different kind of enjoyment that I get out of writing bitchface songs.
And so, but doesn't Farouk do, don't you also do some vocal parts in there, or is it just backing stuff?
A little bit of this and that. Some of the, these songs have been around for a while though, at least two of them have. And then a lot of them
What do you mean a while? Like high school kind of crap?
No, because we played some of them with my band, but we had a different lineup and they sounded completely different. I was playing guitar, he was playing guitar, and we had a different bass player and drummer, and then it just wasn't right. And then when he did it with Mikey, it was much better. It sounded right with Mikey.
Well, because Farouk was in a band called the Strangler Fig, and you guys played like one of Howard Rourke's like very, very first shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I remember this because at the end, you guys played songs together. You, Adam, just jumped in, I guess, on a Strangler Fig song or something that maybe you guys just wrote or something, but you guys did a song together.
He asked me to play drums because his other drummer couldn't do it.
But didn't you switch to guitar at
Yeah.
the end on one song? Yeah, because when I saw that, and I think I even turned and looked at Cal, I was like, this is what this guy needs to be doing. Not playing drums. This is what this guy needs to be
he
doing.
played guitar on like 2 songs. And him and my brother would switch parts for the last 2 songs, and those were Bitch Face songs.
Yeah, they're the
Yeah,
first Bitch Face songs.
see, so that's what I'm saying, dude. I saw that, and I had no idea you guys were going to do this band or anything, right? It was just something I saw between both of you guys, and I was like,
Well,
this is going to become something. I
we
know
actually-
it.
We play better, I think, musically when we're both playing guitars.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it's bass guitar, it's bass guitar is fucking
Well, we've
guitar.
been playing guitar together just
Yeah.
for fun.
Well,
for,
I
like,
played with you guys in
over
La
10
Fuerza del
years,
Debut
yeah.
too,
Yeah.
and that honestly, that was like the funnest I think drums I've ever played with the band because it was again like that, just kind of very mathematic, like schizophrenic kind of parts, man.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was when I was
shit.
still trying
Love
to
that
write
shit.
really crazy, weird
But this
stuff.
band, hey,
Yeah.
if whoever's watching this band is not a math band.
No, of course not. Yeah, and I wanted to get into that.
Yeah, I don't want you to think about counting shit when you're listening to the music.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's true, man. Because I don't know if you guys want to advertise that your guys' stuff is like on Spotify and iTunes and all
So
I
sorts
kind
of
of
stuff.
figured that you'd talk about
It's
the
on the
album that
internet.
just came out.
The what?
I kind of figured that you'd talk about the album that we just put out.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I didn't want to interrupt what you were doing when you were talking about like the Nirvana thing, but I did want to go into that because you were when you guys out there listen to this album. I think you'll probably listen to it the way I did, and you'll start to hear Nirvana, like Sonic Youth, like even David Byrne type stuff in there, man. Like what you're doing with the
bass lines,
vocals.
maybe.
Well, I think it's a mix of both because I know Farouk's a huge fucking Talking Heads fan, right? Or
I am
David
too,
Byrne.
actually.
Yeah, we both are.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So maybe I don't know if you guys did it intentionally or not, but I could totally hear that stuff, dude. Just the way the vocals are recorded, and the kind of like almost walking bass lines in there. It's very like punk thrashy.
Maybe
Nirvana-ish.
Psycho Killer type.
The what?
Maybe like Psycho Killer David Byrne, but not later David Byrne. I don't
Oh no! Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm talking like Talking Heads, like just kind of that style because I'm not even that familiar with much of the David Byrne, like all the recent stuff, just all the Talking Headish type stuff.
Like when we reference parts on the album, we're like, it's the part that sounds like this, dude.
Yeah.
It sounds like this album. Remember that album?
Yeah.
And like that, we're nerds, man. We listen to music.
You
We're
can,
not-
I gotta pee, so keep going.
Oh yeah, no, go for it, man.
No, we listen to the shit out of music, man.
Well, I know you do. I know
Well,
you
all
do
of
for a
us,
fact, and
yeah.
I just haven't talked to Adam in a while. But I know the thing I know with Adam though is that Adam feeds a lot off of you, and the ideas, the music you listen to, you don't push it on him, but you kind of open him up to a lot of stuff, man.
Well, me and Adam met in a music store.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for CDs. And I was like, hey.
Was
where-
it here in town?
Yeah, it used to be Warehouse Music or CD Warehouse.
Oh shit! Yeah,
The Blockbuster Music.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I still talk to the people that work there, dude. Like I used to go to the record store all the fucking time.
Wow.
And that's how I walked up with a stack of CDs, and there's this big lip white guy behind the counter. I was like, hey, bro.
That's right, because he worked there, right?
I was like, hey, can I check these out? And he's like, hey, these are pretty cool, bro. You play in a band? It's like, I play music. Cool.
Do you play in a band? I play
We should
music.
hang out. It's like, yeah, sure. And that's how we became friends.
Wow.
It was Danny Elfman, actually.
Right.
It was a composer / Oingo Boingo dude.
Just a bunch of CDs of Danny Elfman?
No, it was one on top. It was Music for an Darkened Theater, the collection of songs that he did for Tim Burton movies and some other stuff.
Right.
And he had that album also, and we both started talking about it and started playing music.
Wow, man. So did you guys start a band off of that, or a friendship, and then you started a band?
No, we started a friendship. We didn't play music with each other until... Well, we played music, but not like as a band until... Inferno, probably.
What
I
I miss-
remember Inferma, yeah.
But Inferno was him and Jacob, and then later on it became 4 people. And then it became Antigone, and then Antigone's still around.
Right. But I mean, you guys don't take any offense to stuff like that, right? Like if people tell you, "Oh, you guys you sound a lot like Nirvana back in the old days or anything like
Thanks,
that.
bro.
Well, as long as they buy
Right?
our shit.
Yeah,
I don't
buy
really
our
care.
album. We don't like what you think we sound like.
Well, that's cool, man, because that's what I'm saying is that, like, I really got that, like, just old school, just 90s rock vibe, you know?
Well, dude, you know, like, we went to middle school together. Like,
Yeah.
we grew up on that, you know? I remember watching on Channel 1 News. This is really
Right.
dating myself because most people don't know
Channel
what the fuck
1,
that is. I watched at school, I don't know if you remember our Texas history teacher at that time in Cantillo. He had passed away. I watched in his classroom when Kurt Cobain died. And that was a major moment for me. I mean, like, when we were in middle school together in Cantillo, that was, you know, like, fucking In Utero had come out, and Weezer's Blue album,
Right.
and Green Day's Dookie came out when we were, like, in 8th grade, and yeah, dude. I mean, I remember playing Sonic the Hedgehog with Super Unknown by Soundgarden. You
Yeah.
know, like
That was like the soundtrack. Yeah.
that was my soundtrack. Yeah, like I mean, I can't help but, and I've talked to a couple people about this. There was a guy in Arlington that wanted to use our music for some internet radio thing, and he was talking a lot about the Nirvana influences, and
Right.
I was like, yeah, you know, like, I definitely am not intentionally ripping him off, but that's what I like, and that's what I grew up on,
Exactly.
and that's the sound that I want to
That's
achieve.
the point. The sound, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not Nirvana. You're not trying to be like
Right.
Nirvana, but that sound that they had is exactly what you guys got.
I mean, the first songs I ever learned how to play were Nirvana songs. That's
Wow,
why I
I think
learned
all
how to
of
play
us.
guitar. Yeah, I mean,
Even Mikey knows one on guitar. He's like, I know
Yeah.
Nirvana song.
yeah,
And it's like a weird song that nobody knows.
it was Tourette's.
Tourette's. that's
Yeah.
right.
Wow, man.
So
Isn't that the one where it's just a bunch of feedback throughout the whole
Yeah.
song though?
But still,
No. It's the fast one where he's just making up lyrics like.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Well, but in terms of like the recording, dude, like, did you guys aim for it to sound like that? Because your guys'
Absolutely.
engineer was Ross Ingram, right?
Yeah.
For the whole thing, or did you guys record it at a new studio they have?
No.
Or
Ross did everything, pretty much from recording us and mixing our album
where did
Yeah.
you guys record?
at his house.
At my
Okay.
house, yeah.
We did it in 2 days, dude. And like most of the songs are like one take.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like maybe one or two. The song that we do the shittiest when we practice, we did it in one take. Which
Yeah, and actually, the song that's like super stupid easy,
We
it was
took,
Red
like,
Roof
three-
In,
yeah, like
which was
3
like
takes.
3 takes, and that was like the longest.
Wow,
And that's why I
man.
scream at the beginning of the track. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
all right, let's do this, because I was frustrated.
Right.
I was like, the stupidest, easiest song is the one that we were screwing up. So
And like I don't know if Adam feels this way, but I don't really give a shit about mistakes that much.
no,
And like that's what makes it sound right is that it doesn't sound.
we didn't use a click track.
Yeah.
Right.
There's none of that. There's no correction on it at all. There's just like over.
Basically live.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
live, and then with an overdub here and there, and that's it with guitars only.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say
We
because you
didn't
could
fix
hear that.
anything though. Like
Yeah.
the guitar track, his rhythm track is on there the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no scratch track. I
Yeah.
mean, we kept the track that we recorded together in the same room.
Like the bass
Right.
track, I only did that once, and that's it.
yeah.
And then his
Right.
rhythm, vocals, just one. We did one run through, and then one like overdub, and that's it, right?
Yeah, because I just like the last 2 EPs that we did, I like to do my vocals straight through. Literally, like the order that they're on the album, one take, I'm like, good enough. And then
Yeah.
there are parts, of course, that I hear on the album, I'm like, I'm flat.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like, oh, I sound like I'm dying.
Right.
But it didn't bother me. I was like,
But see,
it
for
is
the
what it is.
the style of music that you guys do, and I mean, I don't know, I'm sure you guys probably have, Farouk probably has too. You see those documentaries of when they recorded, you know, Nevermind and stuff like that, and that's how it was, you know, like it wasn't like, oh, you got to record the vocal track perfectly. It was
Yeah.
just like Something in the Way was actually recorded just with, you know, Kurt Cobain on
On the
a
couch,
sofa,
yeah,
fucking
right.
passed out, just, you know, playing it, and Butch Vig was actually having trouble trying to kind of like, you know, synchronize it to like
That's when
Dave Grohl's.
they have to use a digital computer. to
Yeah,
do that,
first
yeah.
time they ever did
Dude,
that.
I
That's
have to
fucking
say
awesome.
that, I mean, with my other band, Antigone, we had, and please don't mention like where we recorded, who we recorded with.
This is
But
live.
I mean, like,
Oh, I thought you were gonna mention it yourself
no,
and tell me.
What
to
I'm
not
saying
say it.
is,
okay, I
those
gotcha.
were good experiences,
Right.
Because we had the super
I know where
expensive
you're going.
studio
Right.
experience, and I wouldn't change that for the world because it was a great experience. But I will never record that way again
right.
because it's so micromanaged And
At the end of the day, it just feels fake.
well, you also get sick and tired of working on it. And that's why when we were recording the EPs at my house, which Mikey recorded, they were just like, pretty good demos. I was like, okay, when we record with an engineer, with Ross, it has to be that way. That's why I wanted to do it at my house. And I told him, I was like, look, dude, we're not going to use a click track. We're keeping little mistakes if it sounds like how we sound.
We're going to rehearse, basically. We had to rehearse.
We rehearsed our asses off
so
that we could knock the songs out
fast,
But
otherwise, you sound like the Boredoms.
I was like,
I love the Boredoms.
We're not going to use any samples on the drums. We're not going to be comping everything,
Right.
For people that don't know what that is, like you line up a bunch of stuff. And I think there was just one thing that I asked for him to comp. Otherwise, and your average person, but your average person does not understand that it is standard to go record and then have everything be fixed from every hi-hat beat, every snare beat, every bass drum beat. And I was like, fuck that, because I went through that. And as a drummer, I was like, you made me sound like a machine.
Yeah.
I'm not a machine,
Right.
I'm not a machine. That's for you, Fernand.
Because that's the Maximus.
To the Maximus.
Are they still around, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah? Fernand's still around?
Fernand will always be around until he's not around. Fernandimus.
Well, yeah, and see, I think that just really depends on the project that you're doing, man, because, again, like I said, your guys' style is completely different from, the next band or the next band. I take
it he needed to be recorded that way, because it was a prog rock band, so we needed to shoot for something that was very
European.
produced, No, European.
We're from Prague.
Well,
the style that we play, like I thought it worked best if we just went in there, played through the songs, and tried to capture how we sound live,
right,
and just add some spice on overdub guitars.
Spice.
Yeah.
And even the solos were unrehearsed, man. That's like, that's the funnest thing. When I listen to the album, I listen to my own album, so fuck you.
No, you should. If you don't, you shouldn't be writing music, dude. I've always said that. Because then, if you're writing music you wouldn't listen to, why are you writing it?
When I listen to the solos, I start cracking up. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking hilarious. But it's perfect. Like,
there were a lot of second guitar parts that I added that I don't do live because I'm not two people.
Right.
But literally, I was like, well, I want to try different things out. Hit record and let me see what happens.
Right.
And each time, it was the first thing I did.
Yeah, the first thing that came out, I was like, oh my god, dude, that was
and I had no plan. I mean, absolutely, I didn't know what notes I was going to play.
Right.
But I was like, I want to add something. And we kept all of it.
And see, like, someone, probably like me who knows about, like, the different layers of guitars, like, Kel's not going to catch that. Mm-hmm. But I did. Like, I instantly knew.
Man. That was pretty smart. She likes the boss.
She can't fucking shut up, dude. she can't like she's always asking me about like when I'm telling her you have to do this to you just count. It's not so much a metronome, but how a musician has a internal click in their head that's what gives you a beat, right? She doesn't get that. She doesn't understand why musicians count 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? She doesn't understand that, so that's what I'm saying. She's not gonna know that you guys layered 3 guitars.
If you dance, you can dance a waltz, and you understand what.
She doesn't dance, dude. She's white as shit. But see, that's what I was trying to explain to her, dude. Like, you try to explain to her why you count, and see if she understands it. Like, why there is like a loop, a section.
But there's people that enjoy music, and there's people that write music.
Exactly.
So let her enjoy the music.
Oh, absolutely, man. And
you don't have to think about it, because when you start thinking about it, then you stop enjoying it.
Right, and that's my point with like how I was telling Adam, that most people aren't going to know you even overdubbed your guitars, but they'll know that it just sounds massive. Because when I heard that CD,
there are a lot of amps on there, dude.
And you can hear it. It just sounds fat, let alone the bass, dude. The bass sounds fucking awesome.
Thanks to Mike Longoria, actually.
Mike let us borrow his head.
What setup did you guys do? Like, how did Ross record just your bass sound? Yeah.
Okay, I bought this. I have an old '78 Fender Music Master bass. It's like a short scale. Mm-hmm. It's like a little kid's guitar, and a little kid's bass guitar, and we ran that into a DI, and that DI split into my pedals, which was a Janus. Well, you're probably talking about the Fuzztone. Everybody likes that Fuzztone. It's
fucking massive sounding, dude.
It's called a Janus Walrus pedal. And it's got 2 joysticks on it, and one side
That's
is a
right.
fuzz and one side is a
Like a tremolo, right?
Trem,
Yeah.
But I didn't use that side. I only used the fuzz side. And then I also had Ross had a Mutron phaser,
Right.
and I had that going. You can only hear it on a couple songs, but I had that just to give a little accent on a couple songs.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. And then ran one clean line directly from the DI to the board, and
Right.
then my amplified signal, which went to my amp, and it was mic'd, one on the 15 and one on the 12.
Wow.
And we just used 158 and another mic that Ross knows about. I don't know what it is.
Right.
But I just told him, use the best mix of the 3, and it came out pretty good.
Well, and see, when I was recording my stuff, Gabe told me the same thing because I basically gave him the affected signal, and his whole thing was that he does like having a completely clean signal and then just whatever your affected
Yeah, I
signal
wanted
is,
to have
and
a
when you
clean-
blend them, dude, and you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
that's when you get that
Well, I
type
wanted
of
to
sound.
have one clean so that you could understand the notes I was playing.
Right.
Because if
You
I
play
turn on the
complex type.
fuzz, you can hear it, but you don't understand the notes that I'm playing.
Right.
You feel the fuzz. You don't understand it.
Right. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's when you have an engineer who knows his shit and knows how to blend them both to where it's the perfect mix. Like I'm telling you, dude, I just fell in love with that sound because that's the bass sound that I fucking love. And I think ever since I've like just jammed with you or even played in bands that I've played with you, man, you tend to have that kind of like crunchy type sound,
I like that. I love the bass, dude. I like to play. And I think a lot of people overlook the importance of the bass in the band. They're just like, oh, that's just the bass player. But the bass is like, that's what lets him solo.
Right.
That's what keeps the drums in place. Like,
Right.
That's the middle of the band, dude.
Right.
And that's important. But
I'm kind
Also-
of worried that some of this is too nerdy for.
No,
Yeah,
fuck
whoever
that,
you're-
dude. No. See, the thing is, we wouldn't be talking like this if Barry was here. Because Barry, whenever we start talking like this, all technical stuff, like I feel bad. I'm like, oh fuck, Barry doesn't know any of this stuff, so we gotta like, change it up. But I love talking this stuff, man. This is the kind of
that's
stuff I
cool,
love
man.
talking about.
Whatever.
And if people don't like it, fuck them.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to reveal everything that Ross did for the guitars because I kind of feel like it might be a trade secret that he doesn't want me to talk about. But even though most of the tracks just have 2 guitar tracks,
Right.
some of them have 3.
there's a lot of mic placement.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with mics, and I think anybody that sees us live knows that I use 2 guitar amps. I use 2 Fender tube amps. I use a
Right.
DeVille and a Super Reverb,
Right.
both at the same time, and so I get.
Ross says not at all.
Oh, okay.
And actually, Hector G said more pedals. That's see, Hector G was on
You
last
guys
week.
are on the internet right now?
Yeah, they're watching the show.
What's up, you guys?
So if Ross says it's okay,
Yeah, do it, man.
I thought this was genius because no one had ever done this with, Antigone. I'd never seen anybody else do this, but he. So the first guitar track that I put down that was live with the band was both amps, both mic'd. The DeVille has the 212-inch, and so that was like my low end, and then the Super Reverb has the 410s.
Right.
And so that was like my mid-high frequency range. And I used 2 guitars, one which was a guitar my father gave to me, the Dan Armstrong. It's the clear guitar that everyone always asks me about.
Right.
And it's an incredible guitar. Like it was on Stones albums, and Paul McCartney used one of those. And
Paul McCartney has the only left-handed version.
but the thing that
I was gonna
Ross
say,
did-
was it your
yeah.
guitar or was it
No,
just
it's my
that
guitar,
model?
but it's that model, yeah. Like so. Anyway, like the other thing that he did, which I thought was amazing, was he used room mics with the mics that were placed right up against the amp.
Right.
And I think that adds so much more dimension.
Oh yeah.
And so, I mean, you've got the room mics, and then you've got the mics on the 2 amps on just one guitar track. So
Right.
they're like 4.
4 tracks for one guitar.
Yeah, for one guitar. And then when I go back and do it again and dub over,
Right.
you've got another 2 amps.
right.
And when I did the second guitar track, I used his Stratocaster, and I used a different pickup setting so that I got different
Right.
tones. And the first time I used an MXR boost pedal for my distortion, and then the second time was the Big Muff. So you've got like a lot of different tones and a lot of different sounds on the guitars.
Well, see, and that's actually when I was talking to Gabe about the stuff that I was recording. He mentioned that when you do that, you tend to get problems with like you get phase problems, and this is something I don't know if you would be familiar
we're called
with.
bitch phase.
Bitch phase.
But and that's why like I've always understood that you do you double the track, but you double it with a completely different guitar, completely different setup, not necessarily the same setup because that can cause phase problems. But it just sounds awesome, dude. Whatever Ross did, I'm gonna ask him to do my next record because fucking
Yeah,
A, dude.
Ross-
Everybody, by the way, I have to plug Ross, like, because
Ross is the man.
I was nervous about letting somebody outside of our bitch face family do the record.
Yeah.
and I didn't
and then I had
really
to convince
know
him. I
Ross.
was like, dude, Ross is part of the family, bro.
Yeah, he had to convince me, but I am
Be cool.
so happy that we found him because it is. I've been recording records for like more than 10 years now,
Right.
And so I've had many different kinds of experiences, and I have to say it was by far the best recording experience I've ever had.
Right. And I'm sure, like, you inviting him to your house to do it, he wasn't like, oh, well, we need to do this, or we need to set this up, or...
He was so open to suggestion.
Right.
And-
That's my point, It's
Yeah.
not like an engineer who thinks they're an engineer because they're an engineer. You know what I mean? Like, this is a dude who's, like, gonna record you guys because he's an engineer.
If you
No,
ask
he's
him,
guerrilla
maybe-
style, dude. He's like
Yeah.
guerrilla recording, bro. That's like what we did on this album.
Yeah.
It's like
Is that
build
the
it,
name of his studio?
Record it, tear it down, and take it home.
And I always knew that if somebody would finally let me do that it would come out great.
Yeah.
And every other engineer I've ever encountered, they're so paranoid, so nervous about that kind of guerrilla style recording. They're
Right.
like, no, we have to micromanage everything because in the mixing process, it's got to be like this.
Right.
And I thought, like, if somebody just lets me record like this, I know it will come out great.
Well, yeah.
And it did.
And see, and this is funny because I've actually mentioned this on every single episode so far, but Gabe was talking about how, the age of a studio is actually done. Everyone's going to be recording in their home studio or their house or whatever.
Yeah, but
and
everybody should not be recording.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to get to.
Main
Is it's
point.
yeah, it's not so much. I think he was more. I don't know necessarily if that was what he was implying, but I took it as he was talking more of like electronic musicians and stuff like that, not stuff like us, that would do more like rock musicians where we still need to record a fucking drum set, that's mic'd in a room and stuff like that. I mean, anyone can get a fucking laptop and just start beeping stuff out and make a dubstep song, So that's kind of my point.
That shit has its time and place. It has its.
Oh,
I mean,
everything
we
does.
like that kind of
absolutely.
music too, to some extent.
No.
We like that kind of shit too, man. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, I don't. Don't bring me into
Well-
that dubstep conversation.
No, not dubstep. I'm just talking about electronic. There's some stuff that's okay.
No, honest, I know, I feel exactly the way you do, dude, but honestly, it really is like any music has it. Like, I can't stand country, but
Okay,
people
I got
listen
two
to
words for
country.
you. Deont word.
Who's that?
Deont word. What are they called?
That's different.
That's different.
That's
See?
different.
See, that's different.
Why?
Yeah.
Hold on, what
Why
is
is
that?
it different?
I'm ignorant to that. What is that?
That
You were the one that
the
showed
South
me
African
Dion word.
dudes,
Who?
Ninja, bro.
Ninja and Yolandi.
Holy shit, no.
You posted
bro.
on Facebook like before anyone knew about Deont word.
Really?
Because you thought it was hilarious, that video. I'm a ninja.
Maybe that's
Oh,
why I forgot, dude. It's
motherfucking
just,
ninja.
I didn't pay
Yeah.
attention to
Well,
that.
shit,
I was
I
just
got-
like, yeah, look at this.
That's the only
Because
album
I post a
listen
lot
to.
of shit in Facebook
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just kind of like, I want to see what people think of this.
That's all I think about is being a ninja and shit. I fucking love that album. All of them.
And see, I think that's funny, dude, because I think I know you guys, and I know people. Well, the people who are watching probably know you too, but your guys' personality, I think, comes across a lot in your guys' music, and I think that's really cool. Like you guys just have this like weird sense of humor, where
it was never intentional, but a lot of people have said that.
yeah,
And
and that's the thing because it's not intentional.
yeah, well, I mean, part of it comes from I almost like hate admitting it, but I get extremely nervous before I play.
And I'm the opposite. I'm just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
But I mean, I've
But
been
why?
playing.
Why?
I've been playing music live, like in bars, since I was
Right.
15. So like 16, 17 years. Or
Right.
something. And I still, I mean, my stomach gets upset. I get shaky. I like have to poop a lot, and I don't know. I have no idea. But I have to say that because most of the bands I've been in, I've been in bands with really close friends the reason why with Bitch Face we would start cracking jokes, because a lot of people know that like we crack jokes on stage, and it isn't try to be stand-up comedians or anything, but it helps me relax, and that's just how we are, whether we're playing in front of people or if we're at practice or if we're just having coffee together.
Right.
That's just how we are. So it comes across, and like I have never liked bands that take themselves too seriously.
Right.
I fucking hate seeing promo pics of bands looking like real serious with their arms crossed and like looking off in the distance and like, yeah, we're so and so. Like I think that shit's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I grew up on Nirvana and saw like one of my favorite things is not just the music, but the way that those guys approached fame.
Right.
You know, if you look at all the old videos, they're always laughing and cracking jokes. And when I was 13, 14 years old, I looked at that and I was like, that's how people should be.
Yeah.
Dude, we just make like dick and fart jokes all day.
Yeah.
That's all we like at practice is like.
So I guess it comes across.
I crop dusted you, dude. Oh yeah, you can spend it.
You can see like in the artwork for. Do you have the copy?
Yeah.
I would love to mention that the kid that did our artwork. I say kid because he was literally like one of my high school students.
Hold it up to the.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
But
HD motherfucker.
Yeah. So Aziz Atia did our artwork, and you can't see the back really, but.
Probably help.
Yeah, he came up with the concept. Like, we didn't even know what to do. I was just like, do whatever you want. And so he came up with this concept of a female dog, like in sunglasses and earrings, and she's kind of a hipster. And I just thought it was hilarious. And like all of his stuff is like with a sense of humor. So,
whose idea were the Sears Kodak moments?
Oh yeah,
that you guys did?
the promo pics that we did recently.
Yeah,
it was an old idea for roast that.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that with a band.
Like family portrait
Okay,
style,
yeah.
Kmart style.
Who took the pictures?
We had my little brother do it.
Oh, okay.
Farshizzle, my nizzle. Farsheet Farouk needs a photographer. If you guys need him, give him a call.
Yeah, that
Nice,
was a lot
man.
of fun.
And it was cool because like we climbed up the picture that people liked a lot is the one we took on the roof. So like Adam's wearing a dress, I'm wearing a suit. Mikey, we didn't even tell about the promo pics, man.
Yeah.
He just shows up. He's like, "You guys ready to practice?" Like, hold on, we're changing.
And what's funny is like the idea was.
Well, you could tell 'cause he's all
should
normal,
look
too.
like a kid,
Yeah.
right? But we were like, he dresses like that anyway. So we're like, I bet you anything if we don't tell him about it, he'll show up totally looking like our little boy. You know?
And he did.
And he did, yeah.
Whose bike was that in the picture, man?
Those my little brothers.
Yeah.
I left it at his house one day when we were loading a van. Like, well, there's
an old
there's a
beach
prop.
cruiser that he wanted to restore. But
Holy
yeah,
shit!
I
man.
had way too much fun being in a dress. It's shameful how much I enjoyed
You
it.
practiced in the dress, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't have to, but I continued. I had finished band practice in that dress because I was just enjoying it way too much.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Got a
Hey,
brave.
I look pretty good in a dress, dude.
You look scary as shit with lipstick on, dude.
I
You
thought I
look
looked
serial
pretty gorgeous.
killer-ish.
Yeah.
Barry was saying that Farouk in a suit is just wrong.
He looked like
awesome,
gentleman.
Barry wants to see me in like a fucking turban or some shit. So you
Yeah.
can profile me, Barry.
Yeah, totally, man. It's because he's a gun nut, man. That's why.
Barry, yeah, he's on
Hey,
the dark
Barry,
side.
come to my house. I have lots of guns. I share them with you, my friend.
Linda Sanchez actually said she laughed at your crop dust comment, dude. She thought that was pretty funny.
Yep, crop dusted is usually pretty funny. You caught me with my mouth open.
With the CD, man, like, you guys want to talk a little about your guys' like CD release and
Sure.
where it's at and stuff?
It's at Lowbrow Palace, and it's on August 16th, which is a week from tomorrow, next Friday.
Right.
And I'm super stoked about the bands that we got.
It's like a
to
good,
play with us.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really good like sample of the bands that we like a lot in town.
Yeah.
And they're all very different from each other.
And I promise that there will not be any neon striped V-neck tight T-shirts. They won't be there.
Yeah, we're not catering to that crowd. If you're
There
gonna be
will
listening,
not be any keyboards.
no disco,
Um,
pseudo disco, whatever.
yeah, this music is not supposed to make you happy. If anything, if you're gonna be dancing, you should also be crying and punching at the same time.
Do you guys have any like stories of shows where something like that has happened, or have you like jumped into the crowd or anything like that?
No, there was that one time at the Percolator when that guy. Oh, after we played at.
Gay Black Adam?
No,
Like
his friend.
Oh
Gay
yeah.
Black Adam. That's what you guys call him now, dude.
Well, Adam.
No, Adam's always been Gay Black Adam.
Yeah, or Black Adam.
I don't know if it's Black Adam or Black Gay Adam, or.
But his friend was acting pretty weird at our last show.
What did he do?
Oh, it was awesome, dude. He was like flopping around like a fish and getting up close to us. And did I headbutt him? I did, right? Yeah.
Oh, Wesley Willis style?
No, I like while I was playing at the end of the song, I like went down there and like grabbed him, and headbutted him.
Man.
It was fun.
And then we had that one guy at that last show at Alumni's.
Oh,
Man,
the
there was like
ex-con that was
the
totally
con that
wasted.
he got out of jail and like wanted to help us and shit. It's like, bro, we don't need your help.
Thank you, but
we
go
got
back
high
to
school
prison.
students over there that'll move our shit for us.
Yeah.
Oh, he was trying to help you guys like tear down and shit?
Come on, guys, I got him fucking strong. Got a prison.
No, I got distracted. I wanted to talk about the bands that we have at our CD release.
For real, yeah.
So Thug is playing, who I love because
Hector G actually just said, "I'm totally gonna wear a non-striped V-neck or a neon striped V-neck shirt."
Tell me he won't be allowed in.
Tell him to bring his Mac and his fucking MIDI controller and all that shit too to make his band sound good.
You fucking cool.
At least dye the hair bleach and then do like a feather.
Hey, and I want that vomit to happen. That you were talking
Sorry,
about.
dude. The reason I interrupted you is because Hector is in Thug. and
Yeah,
we were
of
about
course.
to talk
Yeah,
about
like
Thug, so.
I was talking to him about how much I fucking love their band, and
Man.
no, what's great is like, and I really hope he doesn't take offense to this because I never talked to him about it, but I get the feeling, the vibe from their band that they approach their band with the same kind of fun-loving, kind of like humorous.
And their guitar
Attitude.
player.
Have you met Hector G?
Yeah, well, we met
Exactly.
him at the last show.
Yeah, exactly.
And like their music's super heavy, and I wasn't sure like, you know, if the genres were too different or not, but like that's why I think we like them so much is that like not only is their music great,
Right.
but there's that attitude, that approach to their music that is like fun loving,
Right.
and they don't take themselves so seriously that you feel like they're unapproachable.
Exactly.
So they're fucking awesome. And then Nalgadas, who we really like a lot too, because it's kind of like that raw garagey sound.
Who are they? 'Cause I haven't heard
Leo
them.
Lara and Pato. I don't know if you know Pato. He's their singer. He goes by Rat Benatar on Facebook.
What the fuck, dude?
David Mesa and Alberto, their bass player.
Were those guys in any other bands that I might have known from like?
I
back
don't
in the
think
day or
so.
anything?
I don't know.
Because I
Is
just
this their,
kind of
like,
got
first
to know
band?
those guys recently.
Are they like kids or are they like our
No,
age?
I mean, but they're younger than us. But I mean,
Right.
they're
they're not younger than us. Not all of
I
them.
thought they were like in their mid-20s.
No, not that I know of. I don't know, but we like them.
Yeah. And then Rye, who and I know this is okay because I told them the first time I saw them that they reminded me of Sunny Day Real Estate or like Mineral, you know.
Who would say that's wrong, man? That's pretty.
And
cool.
they were like, no, that's cool, you know, because they like those bands. And it's a different genre, but it still reminds me of that raw, like, 90s
Right.
That's the music
stuff.
we like from.
Yeah, that we grew up on. So we're super happy about the lineup.
Well, that's good to hear, man, because, I mean, that's exactly what I did with the Hard Work release shows. I wanted bands that... I didn't care whether they sounded anything like what I did or any of the other bands did. I just wanted to do a show with people I'm familiar with, people I know, and people who set a good vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that whole night was awesome. Like, because of that. Like, you get this vibe off of the rest of the bands that are playing, and it's
If all the bands that are there have respect for one another and they... you know, are friendly and warm, like we were talking about earlier with each other, then it ends up being a great night. And
Right.
it's not about how many people you get there or how much money you made, but it's like how much fun did you have at the end of the night. I mean, after all, like people forget, but that should be, in my opinion, the reason why we do this.
Right.
It shouldn't be, you know, to get girls or to gain popularity or all the myriad of reasons why people, you know, It's like they want to be famous, but
the quantity of life versus the quality of life, and we're not going for the quantity. We want to have
it
a
should
good
be fun.
quality time.
Yeah.
Not like
in the end, you should say like that shit was fun. Like however long your band lasts, whatever you accomplish, at the end, if you can say that shit was fun, then you did it for the right reasons, you know.
Well, Hector asked something, and then he says I'll ask them later. But it's a good thing you asked, man, because I was actually going to ask if you guys wanted to, or if you guys could mention, you know, the order of the bands, what time the show starts.
We haven't agreed on it because he has an idea for an order and I have a different idea, and we'll have to work it out. But let me say my idea.
We'll let you know later, Hector.
Yeah.
But
So-
what would the order? What's the difference? What would that?
Okay,
be?
let me preface this by saying this is not
I'm not gonna give my order. Go ahead.
Okay, but this is how I see it, so that the
Right.
bands understand and they understand the logic behind this. But I think it'd be cool to open up with Rye because it's a little bit more mellow than the other bands playing, and it's something easy. Like I know when I go to shows, I'm getting old, dude. So like I can't hang like I used to, and
Even without drinking.
oh yeah, I mean it's been almost 4 years, and like you think I'd be able to last a little while longer, but I thought that Rye, their songs are so great, but for people that can't stand like really heavy music, you know, like it's a great way to start the show.
Okay.
And then I wanted Nalgadas to play because their music is a little bit more similar than with ours, you know, like it's a kind of garagey sound.
Right.
And then we were gonna play, and then I'd like Thug to go at the end of the night because they're super fucking heavy. He wants Thug to play earlier, and I don't know if we're settled on who's gonna go win. But that's my thinking, so that no one's scared away. Because I bet you anything, some people are gonna be scared away by Thug, even though they shouldn't be because they're fucking awesome.
Well, but you would think, I mean, because it's your guys' CD release party, people would be there to see you, so you would go last.
You'd hope so.
Regardless of who's there.
No, last like
Last sucks, dude. You should know that.
No,
Yeah,
no. Last doesn't always suck, but with Thug's a pretty fucking heavy band.
Yeah. No, we like them so much. Like we also.
Are you scared of going after them? Is that the thing?
We're afraid to follow you. Hector.
I think that's probably what it is.
We're afraid to follow you guys.
The good thing is like I hate doing shows where it takes forever, you know, and
Right.
so even though there are 4 bands, all of our sets are like half an hour.
Right.
So, you know, it's not like anybody's gonna be going on at 1 a.m. You know, I mean,
Right.
we're gonna start right at 10, and then it's gonna be boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Hardcore pound fucking boom boom boom.
Oh my god, I hate that movie.
It's a kid's reference.
But yeah, like, even whoever ends up going last still should have a good crowd because I don't want to put any band in that position where they're playing super late at night to 10
Well,
people or whatever.
That also goes to the next question is like, why at lowbrow and why so late then? Like, why not?
Actually, dude, I mean,
We're timing it around school time, dude.
yeah, I wanted to do the CD release at the end of July, but the CDs weren't ready.
Right.
And I wanted to do it at this kind of skate park deal and make it all ages because it's something that it's important to us, but for any band that wants to do that, it's kind of hard, dude.
Right.
And the few places that, and I am kind of making a statement here about this, the few places that are all ages tend to be very exclusive and elitist. Meaning, if you aren't close friends with those dudes, it's a little difficult. It's not impossible, but it's a little difficult to get in. You have to be a part of the crowd, you
Right.
know? And so, we know the guys at Lowbrow, and Brian does sound there, and he does a great job at the sound. So it's familiar to me. I like the space. I like the PA there, and I would love to do it at like an all ages thing, that's a little bit more accessible to like high school kids and stuff, because I think that they miss out on a lot of shows.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, man.
And we talked about doing it at Tricky, but it's just such a big place, like it's really it's kind of hard. We played a few shows there, and it's kind of hard for a local band to draw enough people to make it feel full.
Yeah, well, but see that's kind of the thing, and that's exactly why I was asking, is because Gabe really does want to start doing more local shows, and he told me that he would really like to have all local bands do their CD release there. And it
Yeah.
only makes sense, because obviously the sound is phenomenal.
It's great, yeah.
And the place is big enough to where if you can fill it up, cool. If you can't, I mean, that sucks too.
But don't get me wrong, we had a blast when we played there.
Yeah.
And we've actually, I think the reason why we chose somewhere else because we've been playing at Tricky Falls quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Well, that should have been a good sign then, man. That way you're more familiar with it, and more people are, oh, these guys are playing at Tricky.
I guess here's the thing, and
Get
I'll
more
be
people to
perfectly
go there.
honest. Like, hopefully he's not upset with me for saying this, but I have no idea what the CD release for us will be like.
Right.
I mean, I have no idea if it will be 10 people that show up or 50.
Right.
Or 3.
Or 3. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
man.
what will make me most happy is if we play well and if we have fun with the other bands.
Right.
And if everybody that's there has fun, yeah.
But of course, I'd like it to be a great turnout, but you never know. I mean, so
it could rain that day.
we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. But we're having fun. I'm having fun.
All right, man. Well, I guess we've actually gone a solid hour. So
Nice.
yeah, if you guys have anything else to plug, do you guys have a website?
You can get our album on iTunes, CD Baby. You can stream it on Spotify. We're the only band apparently that's called Bitchface. A total accident, but yeah, nobody's called Bitchface, and it's the first one that pops up if you want to stream it. And it's at the Headstand now. We dropped some off today.
Oh, cool,
So
man.
if you want to support local record stores, you can buy it for $10 at the Headstand.
I have some friends who are in like a band that they just started out, and I'm sure they would want to know. Does the Headstand, if you take your own CDs, do they buy them from you? Do they?
Go there and talk to Stan, and he'll explain to you what they do.
Okay, cool.
It's
very fair.
It's better if you talk to him about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you what he told me and it'd be wrong,
Right. Well, yeah, exactly, and that's my point, man. Because I know, places out in California, if you go to Amoeba Records, they'll buy some of your records, but they give you this whole thing of who's gonna buy this? Who knows who you are? Blah blah blah, kind of shit.
No,
But
Headstand was way cool about it, and they've always been cool about having housing local artists CDs.
Yeah. Have you guys taken stuff to all that music? Because I actually
They just came in, dude,
like
2 days ago.
Yeah.
So we're just starting to get them out there because they literally arrived at my house 2 days ago.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything against the digital thing or the physical thing, or do you prefer to have?
No, you could do whatever.
Yeah.
As long as people
You
listen to it,
on
dude,
the
I
go.
don't care.
Listen to the album. I don't really care how you listen to it.
Yeah.
But listen to it. If you like it, write a review or tell your friends so they can listen to it. Share it. If you don't like it, then
Spread the holy word of the bitch face.
yeah. If you don't like it, then don't listen to it. Whatever. But check it out. I think you guys will like it.
Cool, man. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. This has been Ask an Enemy Interviews, episode 4. Adam Armstrong and Faroknia.
No, I just go by Farouk, like
Farouk.
Seal or
Farouk.
Sting.
Shit, dude.
I'm Farouk. So
All right,
that's what you
guys.
call me.
Keep on rocking in the free world and doot.
Do stuff.